We fail in healthcare to change people's behaviors. We tell them what they're doing wrong. We tell them it's going to kill them. We tell them, here's 20 meds and 5 specialists and 6 tests. What we don't do is give them the actual motivation and the tools to change their behavior. And that's where I think things like music educate people in a way that you couldn't imagine. There's this weird vacuum in the world for creativity in healthcare and humor as a satirical thing to educate and entertain. And I said, I bet we could actually reach patients, I bet we could reach healthcare people, and we could get them to sort of form a movement around making healthcare better using comedy and music as a Trojan horse to get into their heads.
With more liver spots maybe? Okay. But I think the wrinkles there are great. She looks terrible.
I practiced for about 10 years at Stanford Hospital. I always felt there was a part of my personality that was sort of missing, and it was the musical, creative, educational aspect that medicine kind of crushes out of you because they expect you to be all professional all the time and uptight and all of that. And most of my colleagues and myself, we were those things, and it wasn't working. It wasn't helping patients. It wasn't letting us live our story. So that's when I started making the videos and putting them on YouTube as kind of a cry for help.
Medical students around the country found out where they are going to do their residencies, which often determines where they're going to do the rest of their lives, because they meet their spouse, they end up finding their colleagues, they do all kinds of stuff that
healthcare it's very hard, it drains a lot, you get this thing called compassion fatigue. What it really is empathy fatigue. When you feel other people's pain and there's so much pain around you all the time, then you're going to get exhausted all the time. So all those things collude to kind of make it a very high burnout profession. Then patients wonder why their doctor is detached and doesn't seem to care and isn't listening, is staring at the computer. And I think that's part of the problem, is we don't allow ourselves to be humans. We don't allow ourselves to connect. We build a lot of walls out of necessity. And our training and our culture is very hierarchical. It doesn't lend itself to personalities that are more creative, and many people go into healthcare with these creative personalities. It's part of the reason they got into medical schools. They were well-rounded and they did all this stuff. And then the minute you go through, you realize, oh, I can't be myself because I'm not playing this role of this character that they want me to play.
Separately, like just the lace?
Something in Facebook.
Brush my cheeks with the bottle of Crisco, and I leave on a crumb. I'm looking hella fit though.
People are realizing, wow, the old days of healthcare, those days are gone. So the question is, what's the next iteration? We call it 3.0. And we're going to use technology to actually leverage that human relationship for everybody's health and better outcomes. That's the movement that we started. A lot of our videos are about that. We have almost 500,000 tribes people on Facebook that want this new revolution to continue. And so now I get to live my childhood dream of being a kind of a pseudo rock star while still doing what I'm passionate about, which is trying to help educate people on health. So it's been a gift. I still wake up going, I can't believe it. I can't believe I get to do this.
Mm-hmm. And like, you're pretty happy to be wrinkled up.
I'm happy wrinkled.
Until the bridge of the song.
Oh, I'm beyond happy, although terrified. So every day I wake up happy, terrified, angry, like all those emotions, because I know it's my opportunity to make a difference in the world, and a lot of people depend on me, and I'm getting a lot of other people to stand up and say, I'm going to do this. And so if I let them down, I let myself down. So it's a bit of self-imposed pressure that I actually really like, because it keeps me up and doing things, and probably die of an early heart attack. But it's worth it. I've already lost my hair, people. I've already lost that. Next up, my life.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, dear God.
The live photo makes it